So I have to take a moment to just say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I was not expecting such a huge response so quickly by putting out my story as a Black woman here in the United States, as a Catholic, and just sharing my journey in faith. And I'm just so overwhelmed by the amazing support, the kind words, and the subscribers that I have here on my channel. And before we get into today's conversation, what I want to do is take a moment to thank someone very specifically, and that's Dina from A Catholic Wife. It's funny because I had mentioned some of the YouTubers that I follow and that I love to watch, and she was one of the people that I mentioned, but I cut that section out of the last video. So to have her promote my stuff, share it on her channel, bring so many of you here to make you all aware of who I am, I cannot say thank you enough, Dina. Mwah. I absolutely love you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to maybe even collaborating at some point here on the channel. Now, I have to say something to some of you because I know that I'm going to get certain comments, certain pushback about myself. And I put myself out there. So it's kind of like you got to expect it in 2022, right? Everyone has a right to their own opinions. However, I need you all to understand something about me. There are so many great content creators, and my main purpose of my channel is to share a message about our faith and about one person's walk in Catholicism that might inspire you along the way. And I know that the one thing about me and the reason why I wanted to have a channel and why I feel that God is calling me to do this is because I'm different. I'm very different than your typical Catholic commentator and creator. And I have to be honest with you, I can't apologize for who I am. I had a comment on my video that made me realize that I have to come out and say something right off the bat because I know it's going to keep coming. And I want to be able to point folks to a direction where they can understand where I'm coming from, a little bit more about who I am, and that the next time that you comment or before you judge someone, that you have a little more charity and compassion about another human being. Let's face it, when it comes to what the ideal of what a Catholic woman probably looks like, you don't get someone like me. I got this afro going. Listen, I'm a New Yorker, okay? I love my style. I have personal style. I have oomph, and I'm not gonna hide that. The one thing that I'm going to promise you right off the bat is that I am going to disappoint you. If you put me on some kind of pedestal, if you try to stick me into a mold or a cookie cutter shape, that just isn't me, I'm going to disappoint you. At the end of the day, I can only be who I am. I am not the type of person who wears facades. I don't know how to be anything other than myself. We all know the scripture in Matthew where it says, "Judge not, lest you be judged by the same measuring stick." And before you try to take the splinter out of somebody else's eye, make sure you pull the plank that's sticking out of yours. And I say this because it's so easy to judge people based off of how they look without knowing who they are. And judging someone too quickly based off of what your ideals should be or how other people in this world should move according to your standard will only make you miss out on an opportunity to see the diversity in our faith. I feel like voices like my own are important in our world today. When people are looking around for inspiration, particularly when it comes to faith and lifestyle, they want to see someone that they can honestly relate to. And we're living in a fallen world. Nothing and nobody is perfect. Not even those who point their finger while having three fingers pointing right back at them. So it's my goal to just sit here completely raw, completely open, completely vulnerable, and completely comfortable in my own skin and in who I am, in the way that God has created me, to hopefully reach someone who feels inspired to just take their faith journey a little bit more seriously and know that they don't have to be perfect in order to do so. I told you guys, I am the prodigal daughter. Now, I laugh because it sounds like I'm like this terrible sinner when I say all these things, and I'm not that bad. But I failed at my expectations of what living truly in our faith is expected of all of us from a spiritual standpoint. And I've gone and I've asked for forgiveness. I've done my atonement, and I continue to do the work every single day to bring me closer to our Father. And any one of us knows that this is a hard road, especially in today's culture. And it makes it a little bit harder that I've built a life for myself, a career history in the arts, in fitness, in things that I love that are so driven by hypersexuality, lust, greed, ego. And I'm constantly in this battle to try to make sure that the message that I share on that front, particularly when it comes to fitness, is to make sure that as I'm sharing this message that God puts in my heart to teach other people how to eat better, how to move better, and how to take care of this one body that He has given each and every one of us, I'm always in this battle in how I can do that in the most respectful way, not only for myself as a woman and my body, but to God as well. So I ask that you be gentle in your judgment. I ask that you come to my channel with an open heart. I ask that you show charity and compassion for someone that is very different than who you may be or who you may expect to be like, and to realize that God made us each different on purpose. He gave us each talents and personalities that call and draw from Him. And that individuality may be the one thing that brings someone else closer to Him. I want to wrap this up with some scripture that literally came to me this morning during my prayer, and it's the perfect ending for today's message. And that scripture is from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 21. His power and work in us can do far more than we dare ask or imagine. I don't know why He's called me to do this. I don't know why I'm crazy enough to let out something so personal to the atmosphere, to the world, but I'm here. And my main goal is to just do it authentically and just hope that along the way, someone's life is positively impacted. I've known since I was 5 years old that my purpose on this planet, my calling, is to inspire others to greatness. And I really feel like that's how and why I was so much into the arts. I was so much into fitness, or am into fitness. It's because these are easy ways to facilitate that calling. But every time I discover something new within myself that I can share that with the world, I'm completely blown away. And that vehicle in which I'm inspired right now to share that calling with you is through this channel. So be sure that you go ahead, you subscribe, and that you don't miss a single video. And I look forward to walking this journey with you.